Hi everybody, welcome. Tammy from Tammy's Homesteading Crafts. Today we are in the corner of my office where I come to you for a YouTube podcast twice a month for a knitting podcast. Today is February 17th, President's Day. Happy President's Day. And yeah, so that's all that information. So with the podcast, we have a number of new bags that are in the shop. We have quite a few completed objects, and we have some whips, some new cast-ons, and some that are gonna get cast on today, and then we frogged one, so we'll talk about that one as well. So if you guys are interested in any of this, stick around. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to welcome all of you to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. For those of you who this might be the very first video that you're watching, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the content. For those of you who have been coming back each week, watching my videos, commenting, sharing, all of that, I really appreciate all of you for doing that. It really means a lot to me, and we're coming up on our third year of doing this podcast, and I absolutely love it. This is my little bit of time where I get to talk to people who might enjoy fiber, knitting, sewing, crafting, all of that kind of stuff. I really do enjoy sitting and talking about my projects and getting the feedback that you guys do with my projects. I really appreciate it. It does help me grow in my knitting, and I just enjoy it. I like to talk about what I'm doing, and that I work full time. I don't get a lot of chance to get out and get to the knit groups that I would like to as often as I would like to. So it doesn't allow me to sit and talk about my knitting projects like I want to. And it's not a one-on-one. When I go to a knitting group, there's a lot of people talking, and I like to hear what other people are talking about. So I usually don't say too much of what I'm working on. I like to hear what other people are working on. So this podcast has been really helpful for me and beneficial for me for making my knitting content how do I want to say that? Expanding my knitting content and my knitting ability by being able to talk it through to other, basically out loud to myself, but to be able to maybe help somebody who might be struggling with the same kind of things that I'm struggling with. So if you guys have not subscribed, please consider doing so. It does benefit me by you subscribing to my channel. Okay, so let's get into our podcast. So the first thing we usually talk about on a knitting podcast is any updates that we have to my shop. And for those of you who this might be the very first time, I have a website, tammyshomesteadingcrafts.com. The website will be down below so that you guys can see it. I make and sell project bags for knitting, crafting, all kinds of things. You can use them for pretty much anything. But yeah, so that is... we're going to talk about what we have new into the website. Okay, so let me get my glasses on here. This fabric that I got a while ago, and I've just been trying to figure out how I wanted to use it. It was ordered at a mistake. I didn't get what I wanted, so I wasn't sure I wanted to use it. I couldn't use it for what I had ordered it for, so then I had to figure out how I was going to use it. So this is what I ended up doing. It is some knit-related fabric that I got. Very colorful, very bright, and it is a cotton canvas, a linen cotton canvas. It's not as heavy as the canvas that I use for my one-of-a-kind design bags. It's not as heavy as that, but it is kind of stiff, and I had bought it to put with my leather bags, but it wasn't as stiff as I wanted to have it with the leather bags, so I had to figure out what else I was going to use it for. And then I just figured, you know what, I'm going to just start cutting it up and using it for some drawstring bags. It's a little thicker. I can't do snaps with it, And you guys all know I really don't like to do zippers. I do zippers and I can, but I don't like to do them all the time. They're not a popular seller of mine. So, so this is one of the designs that I ended up having. Very, very cute. Very colorful. I'm hoping the camera is doing it justice for the amount of color that is in these bags. There is so much color, and I just didn't know how I wanted to pair it. This one happens to be they're all going to be drawstrings. So this is a small drawstring. I did like a marine blue on the drawstring, and then I used like a coral color on the inside. Just to try to bring some brightness to these, I wanted these to be a springy and summer set of bags. So this is a small drawstring in that color. Then I have another one, and I have with the mint green, and then the darker teal on the inside. And this again is a small drawstring. All of the drawstrings have a key tag on the inside. Actually, all of my bags have a key tag on the inside of them. Okay, so those are two small drawstrings. Then we have a medium drawstring. This one I did yellow on the top, and I paired it with a lime, well, it's not a bright lime green, it's a muted lime green that I put on the inside. But again, there's so many colors to pick from, and I thought, to me, more color made it brighter. I don't know. I thought I didn't want to keep the same color on the outside and the inside. I wanted to really accentuate the amount of color that is in these bags. This is another medium, and I ended up putting the light purple, and then I did do dark purple on the inside of this one. Okay, so now we have some medium talls, and these are like my one-of-a-kind design bags. I thought, you know what, I wanted as much of this fabric as I could in bags, and that's why I didn't pair it with anything else. I just did the bag, the whole length of it, because I really loved this fabric, and I just wanted to, whoever was to buy these bags, get as much of this really pretty fabric as we could get. This is light pink on the top, and then a fuchsia on the inside of this bag. And this is a medium tall. And then we have one more medium tall. And we did a peachy color here. And then I did an orange on the inside. Just to break it up with and just add the colors. There, like I said, there was so many colors to pick from. I just didn't want to stay with one of these. And this again is a medium tall. So that is the first new fabric that I have, and I absolutely love the fabric. I think it is so, so pretty. Okay, so then the next fabric that I got is this very bright cable, a knitted cable. And it's like rainbows, but it's very bright rainbows. Now, we're not getting a whole rainbow color in each one. So I tried to, when I did this, I tried to pair it with the most popular color that was on this. So this happened to be like the blues. So I did a royal blue. I did line this one with the royal blue because it was a bright color. Those ones were kind of pastel-y and bright together. So I wanted to use a dark color and a lighter color to pair with it. And that's a small drawstring. Sorry, that is a small drawstring. We have a medium tall, and this is again hot pink, and I paired it with the hot pink. And then we have another medium tall, and this one is with the purple. And then I thought, you know what? They're very, very pretty, and I wanted to get a large with handles. So this one I did, we've got the teal on the top of it. You've got your handles, and of course it's got the pockets on the inside. Let me get this gusset put down here so you guys can see pockets on the inside. And the pockets on the inside are very bright. We've got an orange one, we've got a purple, we've got a pink. I'll turn it this way because I think from when I watched last week, you can see either side different ways. But yeah, so I just wanted to put some, it's lined with the bright blue, like the marine blue at the bottom. The gusset's a different color, so everything is a different color just to try to bring in all the colors of that. But a large drawstring, large handle and drawstring bag that I have. So yeah, I ended up getting this out of there. Really, really, I love these colors. They're very bright with the cables. Yeah, and these, being that it's that wide, you have every color of the rainbow on each side. Yeah. Okay, so that's the second one. The third one, I think I want to say, it's a toss-up between this one and the very first one I showed you. The very first one I showed you almost looks like frosting to me. But when I was looking at it, I was like, it looks like fiber, like pieces, you know, just bats of fiber rolled out, and that's kind of why I got it. But then when I got it here and I looked at it, it almost looks like somebody took and is squeezed frosting out in different colors. I don't know. It's just really pretty, and I just really, really like it. But this one is, it's a toss-up. This, I think, is just stunning with the knitted cables all the way through. I really, really do like this one. I paired, this is a small drawstring, and I paired it with the light blue on there to bring out the light blue. There wasn't a lot of light blue in this one itself, but I wanted to bring out the light blue in there. So I did that. That's a small drawstring. And then these are medium talls. And I did one with the navy blue all the way through. And then I ended up doing one with the dark teal to bring out the color of that. Then I made a large with handles, and I put the burgundy on the top of this. I put navy blue drawstrings because I just thought that looked really nice. Actually, I put navy blue drawstrings. Nope, two of them got gray. But yeah, I put the navy blue drawstrings. This one's got the pockets on the inside. So let's see what it looks like on the inside here. Have to say, if this one doesn't get sold, it might end up being in my arsenal of bags, as I don't need another one. But yeah, it might be. I lined the bottom lining is pink, and then we have, well, I might be too high. Let's go here. Pink, and then we have burgundy and blue, and then light purple. There is a dark purple on the outside of the bag, but I just was like, you know what, we'll just put some different colors inside there just to tone it down. I like having the lighter colors kind of inside the bags if I can. That way people can, you can find your pockets, you can find what's inside there. But yeah, really do love the way this one turned out. This, like I said, this fabric is probably one of, close to my favorite. I really do like this. So yeah, these are the 3 new designs, patterns that I have in the shop. This is all I got of this fabric. I ordered it. I didn't order any more. I possibly can, but I might not. It might just be we make these, and when they're gone, they're gone. I did end up getting 9 different knitted pattern designs in this material, in different colors, different designs of this fabric that I had bought. So I do have more coming for the shop, but these, as I'm looking at them over there, these might be my favorites. I don't know. Some of them are really cute, really pretty, but yeah. So these are what I have in the shop. They will be in the website by the time this airs. This will air February 23rd. They will be in the shop by that time. I will possibly post out on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, and now that I'm on Blue Sky that there's been a shop drop so that you guys know that they're in the website. First come, first serve of these. Once they're gone, I won't be making them for a while of this design because I'm not going to be buying any more of this material at the moment. Like I said, I have a bunch more that I want to get made and get used up. But that is where we're at with our bags for the website. I hope you guys like them as well as I do. I think they're just downright gorgeous. I just absolutely, like I said, this I think has to be my favorite. But I guess you have to be a knitter to really like the knitted cables. I think cables are gorgeous. I hate doing cables. I love a cabled sweater, but I do not like doing cables when I do my knitting. So that is it for the bag update. We have no more stitch stoppers. And oh, by the way, thank you everybody who purchased stitch stoppers when I had my sale going on for Valentine's Day. Thank you. I'm hoping to get rid of a couple of different designs there and not stock them. I just really want to tone down the number of stitch stoppers that I have because I have so many of them. But so that is it for the shop update. Let's talk about our finished objects because we have 4 guys. So let's talk about those. Okay, so we've gotten a couple of knitted projects done this past week. Gotten some stuff off of our needles. So the first thing I got off the needles is a pair of socks. I ended up making these socks for my mom. They are blocked. I did some blocking this past week, so I've got everything ready to go. But yeah, nice pair of socks for my mom. Actually really do, these are pretty. I would almost keep them for myself, but I did make them for my mom, and I posted that on Instagram and Facebook, and I think she saw that. She liked the post, so I think she saw that that I said finished my mom's socks, so she knows she's gotten these, so I can't really keep them for myself. But that's okay. She really loves my knitted socks and she wears them all the time, so I have no problem gifting her these socks. But the yarn is from Cornbread Honey. This top yarn is leftover from my local yarn store day colorway that she bought, that she had, and I bought, and I used my cowl. I made my cowl. This is leftover for that. And then the purple is left over from my tank top that I did with her yarn. So those are leftover colors that I had. But I got those done. And then the next thing I got done was my socks, my stripey socks that my friend gave me the yarn for my birthday. And this is the first time I've ever worked with self-striping yarn, and I actually really enjoyed it. And I actually had another skein of self-striping that I had bought in the summer when I was at one of my trunk shows. They had a special colorway for one of the yarn crawls, and I bought it, and it's a self-striping, and I just haven't cast it on for socks, but I did the other day. I separated and I cast it on, so I'm going to be doing another set of self-striping socks. But I actually really love these. They turned out really super cute. So happy with them. Can't wait to start wearing these. They'll get put into my rotation. So that's 2 projects. The next one is my doodle cowl I got finished. And of course, if you guys follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you'll have seen some of these because I posted that I got finished with these. The doodle cowl was a make-along that Cornbread Honey was doing. It started in January, and we were to do doodles. I think I'm the only one that might have finished. I'm not sure. So yeah, I got this done. It's all blocked as well. I just ran out of my brown, and I really didn't want to. I had another mini skein, but I didn't want to cake it on for 3 rows. So I had my white still on there, and I thought, you know, this way I'll remember that the white is the top that goes next to my face so that I always wear it the correct way. Because otherwise I'd probably put it on and my pumpkins and stuff would all be upside down. It won't really matter with the leaves, but the acorns and the pumpkins down here, it'll look kind of silly when they're upside down. So now I know what's the top and which is the bottom. But yeah, had a lot of fun doing this. This was definitely new. I've never done a doodle cowl. I've never done and worked with the doodles. And I have that book, and I actually like it. So I'm just going to, you know, I'll probably pick some other ones out and do some different ones. Like I said, I want to do a bunch of hats, and I think I'm just going to pick some real simple things out and do some different doodle hats with worsted weight yarn that I have here to be able to gift to the schools and stuff like that for for the kids. So that was project number 3. Project number 4, and I wanted to have this off the needles by this past weekend. I got it off yesterday. So I'm not too far off. It has to be blocked, which after I podcast today, I will go wash it and I will get it blocked. But I got my cardigan off the needles. It is so comfy. It fits so well. I am just so happy with it. Fisherman's rib collar takes a long time and a lot of yarn. I think for my fisherman's rib collar, it almost took 3 full skeins of yarn. This is how much I have left of my last final skein that I got. That's not a lot. I was going down the side and I kept looking and I was like, oh my gosh, if I run out of yarn, I'm going to literally scream. I was paranoid that I was going to run out of yarn because it was just taking forever and there was so much. But I like it. I love the way it feels. I love the cushiness of the fisherman's rib for the collar and around the front. It fits super, super well. So happy with this. Like I said, I'm going to get it blocked today. I want to be able to start wearing it. But yeah, it fits so well. I'm just really happy with the number of knits that I've made this year. Pretty much every one of them fits perfect. And that's the point when you go to make your own projects and make your own clothing. You want to find something that fits perfect. Usually when you go to the store and you find something that fits perfect, they stop making it and you don't find it again. I mean, I remember there used to be a clothing store, and I can't even remember the name of it, that I could go in there and I could just buy off the rack. I didn't have to, once I found my size, I didn't have to try it on again. I could just buy off the rack and it fit perfect. It was just the perfect set of clothing. And then they stopped making it. And then they adjusted their sizes. And then it was the point, well, why did you do this? And why did you do that? And it was just, it's frustrating when you want to, you know, and especially if you're multiple sizes where, you know, you might be a medium top, but you might be a large bottom, and it's just really hard to get your sizes correct, but your waist might be tiny. But because of your hips are bigger and your thighs are bigger, things just don't fit right. It's so nice to be able to, you know, I have, as my father says, I have lineback shoulders. I have really wide shoulders. I can't wear button-up shirts because they pop open in the front because of my shoulders being so big. By buying the size that would fit me, I'd have to go, I started when I had to wear collared shirts. I went to the men's department and bought a man's because they had the wider shoulders. Because they just fit better. But when I tried a woman's large, it hung on me, but it still popped open because it was too tight on my shoulders. So yeah, it's nice to be able to make something that fits, and it's very rewarding to be able to make something that fits you the way you want it to fit you. But that is the last of my finished projects that I have. Let's talk about our whips. We only have 2 that are still on the needles from last time. One of them we'll talk about, we frogged. We cast on something else last night. We're going to frog that today, and I'll talk about that too. So, okay, let's talk about our current whips. Okay, so the first whip that we have, and we've had for a while, over a year now, is our daily knit wrap. We are on the very last color. We were here last week, or last time we podcast. We got this much done. We're on the last of the color. This is all I have left. Once I get this put in, I'm going to be done with this. It is definitely now long enough that I can wrap it around a couple of times, whatever, and do it. I'll tell you, this is definitely a very ugly wrap. Nothing matches, but, you know, I look at this and I see all of the socks that I've made over the years and all of the other things that I've done. And it's like, wow, there's a lot of stuff in here that I've worked on and done different things too. And, you know, I like it. I am very happy that I have it. But yeah, it's definitely not something that I will wear outside the house because it is definitely not, it's not pretty. Yeah, but that's okay. That is okay. It is just a leftover of yarn that I had, and I wanted to use it up to make something that I would use. And like I said, it'll stay on my desk chair, and I'll be able to wrap it around me when I get a little cold, around my neck, whatever. It's something there to be able to use and to have. But, you know, we're working on this. I'm trying to do 30 minutes every day on this because I'm ready to have this off the needles and be done with it. I want to be able to possibly have something else up here in the office when I have meetings that I can work on. Yeah, just so that I have something else. But yeah, this is definitely one of those projects that I'm ready to have off the needles. It's been over a year, and we did actually take it off and restart it. So we've gotten a lot done on it, and then we've redone a lot on it. But yeah, that's my knit project for up here in the office, and it's going okay. Okay, so the next project that I had, excuse me, that I had on the needles was my Gathering Flowers, I think it's called, cowl. I now have it connected in the round, kind of. It's really loose, and I need to get it tighter. And I think I'm just going to I'll probably do a whip stitch when I get down to that point. I don't know. I'm 3 steps past connecting it, and it seems like it's getting looser and looser instead of tighter and tighter. But whatever. I've got it connected in the round, got all of my increases done. I'm going to be starting the color work here soon for this. This is another kind of a doodle cowl. I hadn't done one when I did the other one, so I'm a little bit more knowledge on how I've got to do things, holding color work and everything. But yeah, this is where I was last podcast. So I did this much. I did my other 8 rows, and then I connected it into the round because it was flat, and then it just started going into the round with the last 3 rows. But I worked on this yesterday. Now that I got rid of I've been working a lot on my sweater because I wanted to get my cardigan done so that I had it for the retreat that we're going on, and then when we go on vacation, I wanted to have this done. So those are the only 2 whips I have left on my needles. Now, I had talked about it, and I did get it cast on. I had talked about taking my colorway from Cornbread Honey, and I want to say this was her October colorway for the Patreon, and do a vest. And I did get this cast on, and I am in the middle of the vest. I've got that much done on it. I have maybe 8 more rows for the increase, and then we start doing something else. I'm really following the pattern. It's not making sense to me yet, but I am following the pattern to try to make sure that I can get what I want. But I thought this is kind of a very neutral, muted color for a vest. I was going to use my I only have 1 skein of this. I was going to use my Helping Hands colorway because I had 2 skeins, but I thought, I really want this because it's muted. If I need to add for the ribbing for the collar, or maybe at the bottom ribbing, if I don't have enough, maybe the armholes, there's mini skeins that I have that I could add to this and allow it to finish. But I think she has some in the shop if I do need another color to add on. But I'm hoping, I want the vest to hit me right at the waist. I don't want it long. I want it to hit me right at the waist because I want to be able to wear a longer shirt under it, like a t-shirt or something underneath it that's a little bit longer. And the vest will, wear something untucked, and the vest will be right at my waist. That's my plan for this. So I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit shorter than what they're talking about. They show it on there, but the length that they're showing, I'm not that long in that area. So I think 1 skein's going to be enough for me. But like I said, we'll see what we have. If we have to do another skein or we have to add a mini skein on the bottom of it, we'll figure something out if we need to. But hopefully we don't. Hopefully we're right where we need to be on that. But I did get that one cast on. That I would like to have done before I go on vacation because I want to wear that. That's my plan. So that's kind of my next project that I'm going to really start working on. It's really not that hard because it's knit and purls and you're adding into it. Once you connect it in the round, it's just going to be all knitting. So it should be something. I'm trying to get it to the point when I go to the retreat, it's just knitting in the round and I won't have to think about it and I can just knit and be done with it. Okay, so the next project that I have, and I had talked about this, that I was going to cast on, and this is my local Bay Area yarn crawl. I don't know the name of the pattern. I will link it below of what the pattern is, but Bay Area Yarn Crawl came out with 3 patterns for the yarn crawl: a knit, a Tunisian crochet, and then a crochet pattern. And I got the knit and the Tunisian crochet. It's a banana shaped cowl. It's kind of the construction of a shift, if you guys know what it is. You work up and you increase on one side and the other side stays flat. This one you cast on a certain amount. And then I think this is you're going to connect together here. I think this is the sew line. When you get done with it, you increase. But yeah, it's the two different colors that I have. There's just not a lot of the other color, but I like the pattern that is in there. It just sparkles of the other color, a lot of orange. So we'll see. I'm hoping it's going to look pretty good when I start getting longer pieces and I have more of the darker color in here. But yeah, I got this cast on, and it's a pretty easy pattern to remember. So I'm hoping I won't have too much trouble working on it with people. If I need something else while I'm at the retreat, or being able to possibly do it while we're driving to Tennessee, or to sit while I'm at the trunk shows, or at the sit-in knits when I'm in Tennessee. Okay, so those are the only two that I have cast on. Well, I have the third one cast on, but we'll talk about that one. Okay. So I had cast on, I had this Flow Neon color yarn, and I had 5 skeins of it from Cornbread Honey, and I really wanted to do the twisted cardigan. It was a longer cardigan, but I struggled with that. The directions, there are so many different directions, and it doesn't specify if you're making this pattern, go here. If you're making this pattern, go here. It just says the next step, and they're all in a row. And I'm not necessarily following the patterns that she's saying, because one is for striping it out, and if you're striping it out, you follow this. If you're doing this, you follow this. If you're doing, and I'm using one color, and when it's done, I'm putting another color in. Well, there's not really a specified place that I can find. Now, it might be in there, but I've read the pattern multiple times, and I cannot figure out where I am supposed to start. I started my angle, did what I needed to do, got to the increases, wanted to go to the next step, and I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be doing this step. And as I read, I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to be doing this. And I had to take it out, and I thought, you know what? This is the third time I've taken it out and restarted it, because I can't follow where I need to go, because there's so much information in the pattern. It jumps you from size to pattern to size to pattern all over the place. So I decided I'm not going to do that. I tore it out, and I found another cardigan, because I want a finger and weight cardigan that I can put on with a t-shirt, with a tank top in the middle of the summer when it's a cool night or whatever. I want to be able to have a cardigan to put on. But the cardigan that I picked doesn't really take 5 skeins. And I cast it on yesterday, and again, I cast on, made a mistake, took it off, cast on again 3 times, finally got it onto the needles, and I thought, well, I'm just going to make it longer. It only has 3/4 length sleeves, and I thought I'll make full length sleeves. But I still don't know if I would use all 5 skeins, and I really want all 5 of these skeins in a project. So I'm going to take this out that I cast on, which is the Land and Sea fingering weight cardigan, which is by Barocco, which is the pattern that I used for my cardigan that I just finished. And the pattern was very nice. I liked the pattern. It just, I was not reading it correctly, why I had to take it out and redo it again. but I don't think I'm going to need all 5 skeins. 3 would be max. Even if I made the arms longer, I don't think I would need all 5. So I decided that I'm going to take this out and I'm going to do that pattern, but I'm going to do it with my 2 helping hands with the 3/4 length sleeves. And it has a ribbing around for a collar and then down the front of it. And I think I want this again to hit me right at the waist, not long, but right perfectly at the waist. And I have this solid green that I had used in the summer that I got last year from my Year of Color from Kimber. This was one of the greens that I got, and I used part of this for my ribbing and I-cord on my very first rocket tee that I did. So there's a little, it's not quite a full skein. There's probably 20 grams missing. Maybe. I've got to weigh it and see. I don't think there's 20 grams completely missing. So it's less than 20 grams missing. But I thought if I do these 2 colors, put these for the body of the sweater, and making sure that I can get my arms out of them. I can do the ribbing with this. And I can make my arm ribbing longer if I don't have enough. Because it's going to end at the 3/4. It might be nicer to have ribbing longer on the arms. And I could do short sleeves and do ribbing. I mean, they could come down to here. But I think I really want a 3/4 length sweater to be able to have. But yeah, this is what I plan on doing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this caked up today, and I'm going to get it cast on. But that is what I'm going to do. I'm still going to do that sweater. So it is the Land and Sea fingering weight sweater. I'm going to use these 2 skeins and then add this one in as ribbing and the ribbing for the collar. So the ribbing for the bottom of it and the ribbing for the collar around it's another like that, but it's not fisherman's rib. I don't think I'll ever do fisherman's rib again. It's just a little 1-inch rib all the way around. But yeah, and then you've got a 2-inch rib on the bottom, and then 2-inch ribs for each of your sleeves. But yeah, I think I should be able to, because I can get a full sweater out of 2 skeins. So I should easily be able to get a full sweater out of 2 skeins with my sleeves and then do all the ribbing with this and be good on that. So that is my plan for those. I plan on getting these caked up, starting that. That will go into one of my other bags. These 5 skeins will be in here, and I have decided I am going to do a poncho. I found a pattern that I like out of fingering weight, and I'm going to do a poncho, and I'm just going to use 1 skein. When it's done, put the other skein on. It'll stripe out with a poncho, be a nice big airy flow poncho, but only fingering weight. So it won't be super, super warm, but it won't be, it'll be warm enough, because fingering weight, if you have a lot of it in there, it ends up getting warm enough. But that's what I plan on doing with these 5 skeins. The pattern that I figured out needs like 4.5. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to run the last skein out to the end. I can keep going, repeat the pattern again if I need to get it all the way to use everything. So that is my plan for all of those 5 skeins in here. These bright fluorescent and fluorescent flecked yarn. Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought there. Get that yarn done, but that's what I plan on doing. Once I start, it's going to be a relatively, I think it's just stockinette stitch, so it's just knitting constantly, which will be an easy thing to do other than increasing at wherever your markers are. Once I get it started down, I think it's going to be relatively easy to follow, but that is my plan for these. Wow, that is... I'm going to have a lot of big projects. I'm not going to have anything... Oh, I do have one more project that I'm going to get cast on here, and that is my stripey socks. I've got them caked off into balls so that I can start getting these caked on or cast on. I want to be able to have, I think, a pair of socks when I'm traveling, get them to the point... I can turn I don't really want to turn a heel while I'm driving, but if I get the cuff done and a good portion of the leg, I've got quite a bit of a leg I want to do on these ones. I want to make a little bit longer of a sock. This is a full skein, and with it self-striping, I don't think I'm going to want to do 2 skeins of this, and I don't know anybody that would like these for socks. So I guess I will do a longer leg for me. Probably maybe 4 inches, then do my heel flap and gusset, and I might do the heel flap and gusset with the stripey yarn and just work on that, and then if I do the solid color for the toe. It did not come with a mini. I had a little green mini to go with it, so I'm going to put a pop of color at the top with that, and then start into my self-striping. I want to make sure that I have, even though I'll probably still do some ribbing with the top of that, I'll start and do like 3 rows or 4 rows with the color, and then I will go into the self-striping. I just want to use as much of the self-striping as I possibly can, because like I said, I don't know anybody that would want shorties of those. So I'm going to make myself a little bit longer of a pair of socks. I don't normally make longer socks because I just don't want to take the time to do the longer socks. But I want to use that whole skein on that. If there's a little bit left over, I'm not too worried about it. But really for self-striping, it's not going to look as good if it's not in socks. When you're going back and forth, it's not going to be a big stripes. If I'm using it in a blanket or something, the stripes are going to be just minute. I think the self-striping looks the best in socks. So those are the next thing that I'll get cast on before we start on our trip. Excuse me, I got an itch. And yeah, those are my plans for knitting. I will have my Tunisian cowl started once we go to the retreat, because that's something I'm starting with my friend there at the retreat. So I'll have that on the needles to show what I've gotten done next time I podcast, hopefully. But yeah, that is it for all of my knitting. Let's talk about where we're going to be, because we got a couple of new places that we are going to be at. So let's talk about that. Okay, so where you can find us for the coming months. We are getting a few more trunk shows on the schedule. We have a trunk show. We will be at the Bay Area Yarn Crawl March 14th, I think it starts, and it goes through the 23rd, I believe is the day. 14th to 15th. Again, I will put that on the screen so I know the exact dates, but I want to say it's March 14th. It starts on a Friday, and it goes through the 23rd of March is the last day of the yarn crawl. A little over a week. My bags will be at Busy Stix for then. I will not be there, but the bags will be there. So if you guys are out in that area, stop in, support a local business, and also another local business. I would appreciate all of it. On March 15th, we will be in Tennessee. I will be doing a trunk show at Loopville Yarn Store in Tennessee, in Knoxville, Tennessee. Again, the address and everything will be linked down below, so you guys, if you're local in there and, or you live close by that you would like to come in and see what we've got, we will have a bunch of products in the store just for the 15th, that day, It will be a fun day. So if you guys are in the area and you want to meet me, I would love to sit and knit with any of you, talk, chat, all of it. I will be having a trunk show that day there. I believe it's 9 to 5 or 10 to 5. I'll put their hours definitely down below. That is where we're going to be in March. April, local yarn store day. We will have our bags at Yarnies and Swags in Ohio, and she will have them through Mother's Day. If they're selling good and she wants to keep them longer, she might, but tentatively the show will end the weekend of Mother's Day, and it's about 2 weeks that she'll have the bags in her store there. And again, all of her address, everything will be linked below. Also, this is also on my website under where trunk shows, upcoming trunk shows that I have on my website. That is it. We have some new ones put on, but I don't want to go too far out on where the trunk shows are. I'll start talking about the other trunk shows when we get closer to those months so that you guys can make plans of where we're going to be. Oh, also, March 20th, I will be at Clinch River Yarn Company for the day to sit and knit. So if any of you guys are in that area that that is one of my stores that carries my bags. They have been so gracious to me over the years, hosting me for the Great Tennessee Yarn Tour for 2 years, and they have agreed to do it again this year. So this is now the 3rd year that they have hosted me for the Great Tennessee Yarn Tour, and I love to go in there and visit with them when I'm there. So I am going to be staying an extra day in Tennessee so that I can go Thursday for their knit day where they have open knit all day. And I will try to get there and be there most of the day. I can't guarantee I'm going to be there all day, but I'm going to try to be there most of the day for their knit day and just, sit and knit and get to meet the people that I didn't get to meet last time when I did my trunk show. I had so much fun when I sat there for my trunk show last spring when I was there, being able to meet everybody and to see everybody and all the people that have bought bags from me, coming in and sitting with me and talking with me. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to doing it again this year, to sit and knit with them. They have been, like I said, very gracious to me over the years, carrying my bags and hosting trunk shows for me every year, and I really appreciate it. And this is one of the ways I want to thank them by coming in, spending some time with them, and just sitting and appreciating them for what they do for me. And I really do appreciate them. They were my very first store that took my bags, and it's been a really wonderful relationship with them, and I truly, truly am blessed that they are the nicest people that I've had to deal with. Not that everybody else isn't nice, but when I called to get my very first trunk show, I wasn't even asking for a trunk show. I just was asking to see if somebody would carry my bags. And they're like, we'll do one better. We'll do a month-long trunk show and we'll carry your bags. And it was just, I was so happy, so thrilled that they offered to do that. And they still carry my bags, and I believe my bags do very well there. I have a lot of customers that reach out to me, to have different bags made, different things. So, and my plan when I sit there is to find out what bags they want to see for the month when I send them for the Great Tennessee Yarn Tour. What kind of bags would they like to see? Kind of get their opinion on what they want. But that's the last place I'm going to be when I'm down in Tennessee for the week. But that is everything that I have going on for the next couple of months. That takes us to May, and then we have some stuff going on in June, July, and August, and then turn around, and then we've got November right now. So right now we have 8 trunk shows going on, but we have we have some feelers out there, and hopefully we can get a couple other ones to do some trunk shows here and there. We'll see what we can do, but you know, that's a good start for us for this year. I mean, last year was a very busy year with everything going on. This is kind of a settling year for me. If I don't do, you know, my goal last year was to see could I do 12 trunk shows, and I ended up doing, I think, 13 or 14. We did some little ones here and there. But yeah, I don't know what we plan on doing as far as, you know, other trunk shows and little pop-up shops and stuff like that, but we'll see. That's my plan for the coming year. I would like to do another 12, but if I don't, I'm okay with that. Last year was a busy year. I did a lot of running around, a lot of driving to different shows, and it was a full year. I'm kind of looking for maybe a smoother year. I'm still trying to see about getting a couple into some of the other yarn crawls that I had last year. We're going to try to get some into different yarn crawls, but I've got some, like I said, I got some feelers out to different places. We'll see. We're going to, you know, reach back out to a couple of people, said to contact me, you know, in a couple of months, because I started them right in January, and they're like, right now is not a good time to put these on the calendar, but you know, reach out to us in a month. So I've got to resend my emails back out, reaching back out to them and seeing if we can set a date for a possible trunk show in a couple of these other places. So that's where you can find us. Like I said, all the information will always be down below and also on my website, which will be linked below. If you guys don't follow me on social media, I do have Instagram, Facebook, and now Blue Sky. I try to post. I'm trying to really make sure I post on there daily, and trying to get posting knitting content on there at least weekly. If there's something new coming up, if we've got a sale, I try to make sure I post it going on there. But yeah, we have no sales going on at the moment. Might have a pop-up sale every now and then. Who knows? We'll see. But that is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, for sticking around, and I will see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day. Bye.